Friday in effect, and you're pretty beat, I bet. It's been one tough week, you've hit your peak, and you've earned your paycheck. But now this week is over, and it's a little fun you're seeking. Your grin is wide, and I know why. Look out, here come the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the Friday Morning Fishbowl on the whale. Amber, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Showed up.
Yeah?
Whoop, whoop. Just in time.
Just in time for the really big shoe.
Yes.
We got something special coming up this hour. He's going to be calling us here at the studio here in any minute. The Ramen Raider, Hans Lenisch. We had him on a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And a real fascinating guy. And he has... when we talked to him last, that might be him calling on line 2. If you want to grab line 2. If it is him, put him on hold and we'll get him right on. When we talked to him a couple of years ago, I think he was up to about 600 reviews. And now he's cracked the 1,000 review mark, and we're waiting to hear from him so we can get an update, see how things are going with the Ramen Raider. Okay. It is him. Okay, go ahead and put him on hold and we'll get him right on. How about that? The Ramen Raider on the whale. He's a real fascinating guy, and we'll see what's going on with the reviews. All right, very good. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring the music down a little bit here. We're gonna bring the microphones down a little bit, and we are going to put the Ramen Raider on the air. Hans, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, it's great to hear from you. It's been a couple of years since we had you on.
It's a little distorted.
Oh, sorry about that. Here, is that better? Is it?
I can hear myself, but it's kind of distorted.
Okay. Well, we can hear you fine on this, and I think this is about as good as we're going to be able to get it at the moment. But anyway, you've last time we talked to you, I think you're up to around 600 or so ramen reviews. You've cracked the 1,000 mark, haven't you?
Yeah, actually, I cracked it mid-March. I hit 1,000, and now I'm already at 1,081.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Oh,
so I just, for folks that aren't familiar with you, how did you get started? How do you become the Ramen Raider?
Well, I'm originally from Anacortes, and my mom decided that when I was a kid, I should try. She'd make this stuff. You basically take some top ramen and cook it a little al dente, and then put some scrambled egg with it, fry it up. And I used to love that when I was a kid. And the kind that they used was called roasted ramen. And this is when I was like about 10, 12 years old. And then roasted ramen went off the market. And then we were looking for something that was pretty much the same thing, and ended up going to Wajimaya down in Seattle. And found it down there. And it wasn't roasted ramen, though. It was actually the first instant noodle ever made from 1958. So it was the same variety that they'd been putting out for years, but, they just kind of had made it for the U.S. market, but then they discontinued it. So while I was down there, I noticed there were a lot of different kinds of instant noodles, and I was immediately, kind of fixated on wanting to try them all. And that's where the kind of seed for the idea of the site came from. In 2002, I decided, since I liked trying them, that I just scan a picture of the package and then put it on a cheesy little website, just make little short reviews and stuff. And then kind of fast forward to 2010, moved to the Edmonds area, and there's just a lot of big Asian grocery stores around here, and kind of went crazy with it. And went from having 60 reviews in June of 2010 to now I've got 1,081 in June of 2013. So.
Oh my goodness. So I gotta ask you, how do you rate the ramen? What's your criteria?
Well, first off is the noodles. If the noodles are spongy or just kind of, I call them, if they have no backbone or they're kind of lackluster in chewiness and texture, they'll get a lower rating. But if they're, if they taste good, if they've got a nice texture, elasticity, they'll do better. And then, of course, there's the flavoring. First off, if you get a pack of chicken noodles and they don't taste anything like chicken, that kind of knocks off a couple points. Just along with like authentic flavors, get higher ratings, and uniqueness. If something's really unique and tastes really cool and has some nice attributes to it, yeah, it'll get a good score.
Okay, you mentioned uniqueness. Can you give me some examples of some unique flavors or varieties of instant noodle?
Well, one that I found really good, kind of funny. It's from the UK by a company called Bachelors, and they make this stuff called super noodles, and they made one that was bacon flavored. I found that to be quite enjoyable.
Okay. Hey, everything's better with bacon, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever found in one? Like, I know that they like to dehydrate, like, full-size things. Like, has there ever been, like, a dehydrated little squiddy or...
Any surprises in your instant noodles?
I've never found anything that's like, crawled in there by mistake. But
so it was all intentionally put in there.
Yes.
Yeah, the strangest thing I think I've found... Gosh. Oh, I had one from South Korea the other day that they actually have a little mini vacuum pack with manila clams in it, and they actually have clam shells. So when I first got it, I've never cooked clams before, so I'm thinking like, okay, I gotta figure out how you steam clams and all this, right? Well, then it says, well, if the clams are dead, then they're bad. So I'm thinking, wait, there's a vacuum pack of live clams here, and I'm like, okay, well, screw it. I'm opening the pack and I'm gonna see what happens. And sure enough, they were already cooked, so I lucked out on that end. And they were good too.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's
I was looking at your website, theramenrater.com, which is very extensive. You just recently received a package from Indonesia, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what's on there right now. Yeah, that's a real score. It came by sea mail, which is like the opposite of airmail. And it took 66 days to get here, but it showed up. All sorts of cool instant noodles. That's the nice thing is sometimes the fans will send in packs like that with stuff that's absolutely impossible to get in the U.S.
Yeah, I must say, over 1,000 reviews since 2002. How often during the week do you have instant noodles?
How often do I review them?
Or how often do you eat ramen every week? How many times a week do you do that?
7 days a week.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah. Usually once a day. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, but there's ways to handle that. I take like potassium, other vitamins and stuff, and I exercise, and I don't just eat instant noodles. That would be definitely a bad idea.
Yeah, I'd say so. I must say you are getting pretty popular, especially in Asia. A lot of people are turning their attention to you. I think you riled a few folks what it was in Taiwan.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, what happened was, so every year I come out with a top 10 list of in my opinion, the best instant noodles of all time for that year. But it's pretty much, for this year it was everything past up to review 1000. And so I came out with a list. I'm happy with it. Well, the Taiwanese didn't have anything on the list, and they were, let's just say, unhappy about it. I had tens of thousands of angry Taiwanese people coming to the website telling me how they were unhappy about it. And then I was on their national news quite a few times with people up in arms and screaming, and there was one video with a guy yelling, "This is war." So it's like, wow, but it's just instant noodles. Calm down, but
I see a movie coming.
Oh my goodness.
But what I decided to do is I was like, hey, if you guys want to have any chance of being on the top 10 list, send me something that I might like, because I've had 70 kinds before of these Taiwanese noodles that I just didn't like, that are definitely, I didn't think were worthy. So their company's got a hold of me, and so far I've given out five-star reviews for stuff that they've sent, and it's completely different than anything that I've ever had from Taiwan before. So I think the Taiwanese are slightly less unhappy, and I'm getting sent noodles. Like I live in a one-bedroom apartment. I mean, there's like very little space now because I have way too many noodles. It's ridiculous.
A great wall of noodles.
Yeah, there you go. I noticed on the top top 10 instant noodles of all time 2013 list, you've got a couple there that are made in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, for I guess, and these, I was surprised. I didn't know that these were made in the United States. Nongshim and Sapporo Ichiban. I mean, I'm where in the United States are these made? Because they look like they were shipped in from overseas.
Well, some Nongshim products are from South Korea, but they have a factory. My wife and I actually visited it, was it last year? Down in Rancho Cucamonga, California, which is like right outside of it's like in the San Diego, LA area. And that's where all these big companies are, like Nissan and Maruchan, and there's other ones that are down there, like Sapporo Ichiban. They all have big manufacturing plants down there. It's all in the same kind of little industrial area around LA.
So it's a lot like if you bought a Toyota that just happened to be made in Flint, Michigan. It's the same kind of an idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about this website of yours, the ramenraider.com. What can first-time visitors find on your website?
Well, one thing that I'm pretty stoked on is the fact that you can now go to there's like a little resources tab, and if you mouse over that and then go down to the big list, I've got a partner now that I'm working with on getting the site all redone, updated. And one thing that he implemented, which is really neat, is the big list, which has every single review in it, and you can sort it by brand name, variety, how many stars it got, what country it's from. So you can, like, if you want to see all the reviews that I've done from Taiwan, just click on the countries tab, scroll down to Taiwan, and then you can, dig through that. So that's kind of cool. I do reviews of products from, all sorts of manufacturers, but I've started this thing called Meet the Manufacturer, where I contact or get contacted by a manufacturer and do a little email interview with them, and then do kind of an intensive up to 15 reviews in a row of the same company's products. So it kind of, you get to really see all the things that they make, and you get to learn a little bit about them. I just got done doing one with a Taiwanese company that makes aloe noodles, and those are pretty interesting. So.
Yeah, I would not. When I think aloe, I don't think instant noodles.
No.
Oh, yeah, me neither. But yeah, they love aloe.
I imagine them being like slimy and a bit kind of rubbery.
Yeah, not at all. They were really, really wide and broad, kind of like really wide egg noodles. And no, they didn't have like a weird texture or anything. They were good. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, what is next for the Ramen Raider?
Well, right now we're working on getting advertisers. We've got a lot of nice advertising space, as you can probably see on the site, and we're trying to get new people to go with that, because the site gets a lot of traffic, and it's a real, it's a niche. It fills the. If you're looking for instant noodles, you're going to find them there. If you do a Google search. And so we think advertisers will be really into it. And the other thing is, soon there will be an Android app for the Ramen Raider coming out.
Nice,
so
yeah.
that'll be pretty exciting. Yeah.
I'll be getting one of those, definitely. I'm a big fan of instant noodles myself, not to the degree that you are, but I haven't taken it to that next level like you have. But yeah, so I can really appreciate what you're doing with these reviews and what you're doing on the website. I notice you also have a presence on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So you'll be getting a like from me on Facebook very shortly here.
Thanks.
Excellent. Well, it's been over 1,000 reviews, and I tell you what, let's keep in touch because this is a very interesting topic for me and for a lot of our listeners. And you've been doing it since 2002, and I'm sure you're going to be doing it for a long time to come now. There's so many varieties of instant noodles still left to try.
Yeah. There's I have so many instant noodles. I'm being fed out of house and home.
Hey, can't beat that. That's nice. Well, Hans, I appreciate you checking in with us, giving us an update on what you've been doing, and let's do this again soon, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
All right, thanks. You too.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye. There you go. It's Hans Lenisch, the Ramen Raider.
I forgot to ask him how his wife felt about all those noodles. Honey, do we have to have noodles again tonight? But, I mean, this website is very informational.
It really
Any
is.
college student needs to read this because it's going to let you know, like, okay, you're pinching your pennies. You don't want to sit there and spend all your money on, basic ramen. And you don't want to be like, well, I have a couple extra dollars. Do I want to chance it and get really gross stuff? Yeah.
Well,
go to this website.
Yeah, it's really cool. TheRamenRater.com. Check it out. And our thanks again to Hans Lenisch, the Ramen Raider, for coming on and giving us an update. Do appreciate that. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got a couple things that we are going to be giving away today.